Now that we've been able to calculate average and percentage for the heights that the balls returned in height from being dropped from 200 centimeters, we want to be able to turn this data into some form of visual presentation or graph. When we're doing the graph, we don't actually want to see all of these values here. The only one we're concerned with is the percentage value that we've calculated at the end. So to insert the graph, we go to Insert, and over here we have a whole range of options, and the one we want for this particular set of data would be a column graph. So we'll go to 2D column. You can of course choose a different one if you want. Now we're just going to move that a little bit and make it a little bit bigger just so it's a bit easier. Now even though we've chosen a graph, we haven't actually selected any of our data yet. So on the graph, if we right click our mouse, go down to Select Data, a new window will appear, and you'll see here that there is no data in it. So we need to add some data, so we click on Add. Now the series name will be the title, and we want elasticity of balls to be our title. And our series values, we'll get rid of that. 1 will be our percentage values here, and you can see behind this window that as we've added the values in, the column graph has been created. So we'll click OK there. Now I'm just going to move this over to the side. You'll see that at the moment we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as our values for our independent variable on the x-axis, but they're not the values that we want. We want the type of ball to be written down here. So on our horizontal label, if we edit that, it asks for the range, and we select the range here on our graph, click OK. We can see that the names of the types of balls that we were bouncing have appeared, so we click OK and we have our graph. Now there are some things missing on this graph. We don't have a title for this axis, and we don't have a title for this axis. So up the top here we have some chart layouts, and if we go through some of these layouts, we can see that there is an option here that gives us a title at the top, an axis title on the side, and an axis title on the bottom. So if we click on that, it's also changed the graph a little bit. If we don't want that, we can change up here to a different type of chart, which keeps the columns spread a little bit, which is good for us. You can see here that axis title, well, that is not axis title for us, that is percentage of energy retained, and on our x-axis it is type of ball. So we now have some information about what each one of these axes is representing. Over the side here where it says elasticity of balls, we don't need that because there's only one thing that we're looking at. And now we've created a column graph that represents the data for our experiment.